Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel Learning Pockets. So in this video we will going to use routing. Let me show you what we have done in the previous video. So we have connected our project to the database, MongoDB database, and we have made this db.js file, and I'll have to remove this const yes, I have to remove this const URL because I have already used in the try block. Okay, so before moving forward further, let me tell you guys something. First is that here is some error that I'm using error as variable and I'm using err only. So this update it in your code that it is error.message. Also let me tell you guys that what is this use new URL parser, use unified topology, use find and modify, and use create index true. Let me go to the Mongo's website, and here they have already told that by default mongoose.connect will print out the below warning. What is this one? These are the deprecation warning. Okay, so we have to use new URL parser to be true because the Mongo driver rewrote the tool it uses to parse the MongoDB connection strings, because this is such a big change. They have already made some change, they have updated something, so we have to make it true so that we can use the updated form to parse the URL. Okay, also I have already told why to use find and modify to be false, as we have some new methods to update, like we have to, if you have to find something from the database, I can use find method. If I have to update only one data, so I can use find one method to find the data, right? So these are the updates they have provided, so we have to set it to the false, as by default it is set to be true. Also use unified topology to be true, as it is also a deprecation warning, so make sure to write it true. Use URL parser to true, use unified topology to true, use find and modify to be false, and use create index to be true. Okay, so this is how we can connect our Mongo database to our project. So now let's see how to make routing. Routing is basically what, let's suppose I'll write google.com slash code. Let's suppose this. So this is what routing slash code means, routing. Okay, so in the overview project I have shown you that I'm using the link, I'm using the URL localhost /5000/add to add the database, add the item to the database. I'm using /all to fetch the database, right? So these are the routes. Okay, so we will create the routes in this video. So for creating the routes, I'll create a folder named route, and I'll create a file named routes.js. Okay, so firstly I have to import express from express. Then I'll have to make a const router is equals to express.router. Okay, I have initialized router. After that I have to use router.get. okay, so I'm using get API to fetch all the data. Okay, so I'm using get API to fetch all the data, and I'm using /all. Okay, and also I can use callback function to show what I can do here. Let's suppose I can pass request and response, and then what my API will do. But I will not follow this method because it will make our code hectic. So I'll use another file for handling the functions. Okay, so I'll just create a function for get jobs, and here comes controllers that controls our API calls, that what to do after calling this API. Okay, so this is router.get all jobs, and I have to make controller of get jobs. Okay, so after that let me make one more, router.post, and I'll post using /add API. slash add, and then add jobs. Okay, so after that I'll just export default router, and that's it for the routes. And just I'll go to index.js and I'll import routes, import routes. Okay, I'll import routes from ./routes/routes.js, and I'll use app.use. This is a middleware, app.use. I'll tell middleware in the next tutorial, as we will not be getting middleware something. What, let's suppose I'm taking the example that let's suppose someone is logging. Let's suppose you make a website in which you require login to access some pages. So here comes the middleware to check whether the person is log in or not. If the person is logging, then he or she can access that web page, otherwise he or she can't. Okay, so that is the use of middleware. So I'm using app.use and /jobs, and I'll use routes. Okay, so it's perfect. And I can basically, what I can use localhost 5000 /jobs/add to add to call the add API, right? So this is how you can make your routes and call it in index.js, right? So now let's handle our controllers, that these functions, that what to do when I call this API. Okay, so for this I have to make one more folder for controllers. So I'm making one folder controllers, and then I'll create one file, jobcontroller.js, and I'll make one function, export const add jobs, and then I'll use try catch to handle the errors, try catch error. Okay, as I'm calling the API, so I'll response.json. For that I'll have to use request response. Okay, as I'm requesting something and I'm getting some response, right? Okay, so before handling this function add jobs, I'll have to create models. I already told you that Mern works on the MVC structure, that is model view controller. So this is controller. Then I have to create model so that I can store data in that format, right? Let me create the model, then you will get what I'm trying to say. So let me create one more folder for model, and then I'll use let's suppose model.js, and then I'll import mongoose from mongoose, and then I'll create const job schema is equals to mongoose dot schema. This is something layout, that in which format you want to store the data, right? So mongoose.schema is a schema of something that you want to store in your database, right? So I'll need a title to be of string format, then required to be true. Okay, why I'm writing required to be true? I'm writing required to be true as I want that form field not to be empty, right? But I have made a mistake. I have not to write like this. I have to create a variable name, then type is of a string, and then required to be true. Then I'll need description. That is also the same, so I'm just copying, Control-C. That is also of the type string and required to be true. Also I'll need time, and that is also the same, required to be true and type is of a string. Then I'll create model. how I can create model? Just I have to write const job is equals to mongoose dot model, and I'll have to write the variable. I have to write the name of the model in my database. Okay, so it is of named jobs, and I'm using job schema, right? And that's it, and only I have to export it so that I can use in controllers. Export default job, that's it, right? Now I'll have to import in job controller.this. That's it for the model. I have created the job schema, okay, and I have created the model with the name jobs, in which 3 fields are there: title, description, and time. All the 3 fields are of type string, right? Now I'll use in the job controller, so I'll have to import this, import jobs from dot forward slash node dot forward slash, then I'll go in the model slash model.js. Don't forget to mention the extension of the file, right? In for the backend, not for the front end. For the backend, you need to mention the extension of the file. Now let's add our controllers function. So I'll need to so I'm getting the data from body, I'm getting the data from the body. So let me create a variable name const job is equals to request. Someone after adding the data will request the API to send it to the database, right? So I'm using request.body to get the data. Const job is equals to request.body. Then I'll create a variable new job to be new, and then I'll use jobs, that is the model name, and then I'll mention job, the variable that the data that I'm getting from request.body is stored in this variable job, and then I'm putting this job variable to the model, right? After that, I'll just simply have to use jobs new job dot save, new job dot save. That's it for saving the data. But as it is it will take some time, so I'll have to use async and await, so that after saving the data, another function will be called. Okay, sometimes if I will not use the async and await, then what happened, this function is trying to call, but another function will get called up, and we won't get any response from this one. Okay, so I'll have to use async and await. So I'm using async here and await new dot job save. It will wait for the job to be saved. After that, I'll response.json response.status 200, and I'll response JSON to be job created successfully, right? Sorry. And in the error part, I'll show the error of 404, response dot status 404 and dot JSON, and I'll pass the message to be error dot message, right? And that's it for the add job controller, right? So let's test this. Before testing this, I'll need some packages. Okay, so I'll just simply install one package. As one package, I'll need body parser. Okay, so we can't use body parser in the newer method, so we don't need this. Okay, but we have to parse using another way. So I'll have to use express.json, as we are sending our data in the JSON format. So we will have to use app.useExpress.json. Also, I'll have to make URL encoded to be true. Okay, so express.json and express.json, then extended to be true, and also I'll have to use app.useExpress.url encoded, and this is also extended to be true. as we are sending the data in the JSON format, so I have to use this these two middlewares so that we can post you can call our post API to post the data to the database. So I'll have to simply delete this as I don't need body parser right now, and I'll install let me install course also so that we don't get any error in the future. Okay, so let me install npm I course, and then I'll have to import course from course, and then simply I have to use it app.use course. That's it. And now let's test our API. So let me rerun the server, and I'll have to go simply npm start, and my server is successfully running, and it shows that my database is connected also. Let me open the postman. Okay, till then it is connecting to the database. I'm getting some error, get jobs. Okay, I have not imported get jobs in the routes. Okay, so actually I have exported it, but I haven't imported it here. So I'll have to import get jobs from controllers slash job controller.js. That's it. And I'm currently commenting this out, get jobs, not add jobs, and I'm currently commenting this, and I'm also deleting this all, as I'm making the API for getting the job on the slash, on the empty slash. Okay, so now I'm okay, it says that database is connected successfully and server is running on port 5000, and I've also opened the postman API, and I'm just close this everything. Then I have already mentioned the URL http localhost 5000/job/add, and I have already used the post method. Also, you have to import some methods in the header. Just go and mention one thing, that is content. Okay, I have already mentioned content type to be application JSON. If you have not mentioned, just mention this content type to be application JSON. Then I'll go in body, and in the raw I'll simply write it in curly braces for the title to be, let's suppose, monstack. Okay, and description to be this is monstack job. Okay, and time to be, let's suppose, 2 months. Okay, so I'm getting this error, description. Okay, so I have to use this semicolon after this, so this is fine. Okay, this is fine now. Okay, so now let's test our API, fingers crossed, and just I will use send, and it is saying some error. Okay, what is the error? Cannot post /job/add. Okay, so let me see what is the error. Okay, see here, so here is the error. I have to use slash before add, so as I'm using /add. Okay, so I'll have to use slash and just restart the server, and now after okay, now I can use send button to call the API, and it is taking some time. Okay, I have got an error of, okay, let me see what is it. Unhandled promise rejection type. I cannot read property get of undefined at server response.json. Let me fix this. Okay, so my error comes because I have used request and req and res for request and response, a short form, and I'm using response full form here, so I have to cut it, and I have to cut it from here also. That's it, and let's rerun the server. Okay, server is running perfectly, and now I'll send, and it says that request is not defined. Where request is not defined? Uh, okay, request.body. So this is request.body, and now it will work fine. So I'm just okay. So here it says that job validation field time path time is required, description path description is required, and title path title is required. So many errors are coming. So let me fix it this. Okay guys, after a lot of time, I have found that I have made a mistake here in this line, line number 8, app.io/jobs, while calling the routes. Okay, so I'm doing what? I'm calling the routes first, and then I'm parsing my data using this middleware. Okay, so this makes the mistake. So just I have to put this line after parsing my data, right? So this was a silly mistake, so I'll just save this. Okay, don't forget this. Use this routes after calling your middlewares for parsing the data. Okay, so it is successfully connected and server is running on port. Let's test this to my postman, and it is I have written all the data. So I have to just click on send button, and it says that job created successfully. Okay, and let me show you guys the mongodb, and here it is currently 0. Just I'll have to refresh this, and in the collection you will see one document here, that is Mern stack, that I have passed it from this postman JSON format, right? So that's boom guys, you have learned how to create data item in the database, right? So that's it for this video. If you find any problem, just comment down below, and if you find this video to be helpful, just like this video. If you haven't subscribed the channel, make sure to subscribe it and hit the bell notification to be on, and you will get the source code down below in the description. And make sure to share this series and playlist with your friends, so that they can also be able to learn these useful videos, learn from these useful videos. And definitely this will make your resume to be a very good if you write projects that you have made using Mern or Mern stack, or that is the new technology that is in the market right now. Okay, that's it for the video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, tata, bye bye, take care.